Who do you think played the best game, and do you think that they are in the final three? And we'll start with Jude.
This is of any player in the entire game.
Any player in the entire game.
Best game, I'd say it was Iman. In my finished still thinking, everyone kind of flashed their idols around. If two people knew, everyone knew. The fact he kept it so quiet, and he went to my final five, everyone like, oh, let's get him out. Easy vote. He would have gone back, and I think that would have won him the game. I think he played the best game, and I think Annika was a close second, in my opinion.
Okay, Annika.
Oh, I think Yvonne played the best game by a landslide. I think I'm a close second. Not the same answer, pretty much.
I mean, I agree. I think he also had a really good social game. He had his secret little agreements with everyone. It was impressive.
Very much so agree. But I will say, I definitely think I played like a really solid strategic game and social game, but I didn't do a good job of de-escalating my threat level, and that's what ended up getting me. And I didn't trust my gut, and I didn't play the idol. So like those are two like obviously really big flaws. I actually think Annika, it's between you two actually for me, because I think Jude, I was really thinking about it this week. He was a pivotal vote in voting off Kelsey. He could have easily voted me. He voted off Hannah, which that changed the trajectory of the game because then it evened out the numbers, which allowed me to work with Elena. And then he, in turn, got me out, which gave him the best path possible to a win. So I actually do want to really commend you on that because you actually were a very key vote in 3 separate votes. And Annika, obviously, I just think like we both played really hard. And yeah, everyone honestly played, like, y'all, yeah.
I think Amon played really well. I think getting rid of me was definitely a mistake though. Because I mean, like once I went, you went,
Yeah.
you went, every single snake kind of fell. So I think that was a bit of an error, but I think overall that was still a good move. But I think Jude actually as well played really well. Annika, I think it speaks for itself. So.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think Iman, Annika, and Jude played like really good games. I think everyone played like really good games, but ultimately I think my like player who I think did the best is in the final three. I think Elena played the best game out of everyone. She kept it low key. She made moves when she had to make moves. She made challenges. Like to me, like she is the best player, and she would like win against anyone. Pretty much here, I think.
I think Annika and Iman had the best games in terms of like survivor values that people traditionally value. But I don't think they played the best game. I think Elena and Jude played the best games because they were able to keep their threat level low enough to get deep into the game, as well as like having really good social games on top of that.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say Elena, I think her game is a little underrated. I think that you have to look at her social relationships that she had with everyone that kept her in the game and got to the final three.
There's some people in this game that kind of like are in the pocket of other players, and all but 3 of you named Iman as the best player, even though Iman's here on the jury. So do you guys feel like there's anyone that's still in the pocket of Iman, or anyone that's in the pocket of anyone on the jury or in the final 3?
Can you define in the pocket?
Well, like, you know what I mean, like,
Okay.
Puppet Master.
Is a shadow of?
I mean, I think
I mean-
Ryan has been in Elena's shadow for like a lot of the game, but I mean, he chose to leave himself out of Vince's vote, like, which is an interesting. I mean, like, I know it's not like a traditional move to make. He chose to leave himself out of your vote, like, because he didn't want to vote for you. And I don't know, that's something. Whereas Elena just went along with, like,
Everything I said.
she went along with you, whereas she could have worked together with you guys and probably progressed further while making bigger moves, like voting the 2 of us out.
Progress further than final 3?
Like, well, she would have been able to make it to the final 3, but have had, like, a better resume, in my opinion. And I think, like, I don't know, you probably would have went before them at some point and voted us out. If she had agreed, like, I feel like Elena should have told Vince, and I think Lucas, you should have told Vince that we were voting for you. It was very last minute, but strategically, I think that would have been a better move than her going along with us.
Well, I think for Elena though, I was the only one that even gave her a slight chance out of getting out of the bottom. Like it was really was that week my call, because I knew that by getting rid of you, I could secure her as an ally. Because I kind of saw like a potential threat there, and I kind of wanted to keep it as contained as possible. I find it interesting though, you say that Elena's game is like underrated. I think it's a little overrated.
I agree.
I
You
think
still think that what she did, like game to the end, you don't think she's
Can
gonna
I?
win?
Can you make or any of you guys that?
I
Or
mean, I
Elena,
think-
yeah, I think
yeah.
I think you guys
I
should
mean,
take
you?
the
What
take
do
the
you-
what
point.
did you do? Herself.
Yeah, she's a follower. He chose to vote out Iman.
Yeah.
I
That was
think
his
it's-
fault.
You guys all voted out because of it though.
No, I
She
know,
isn't.
but she didn't.
But why did you
come
choose to
up
tell
with
her?
the move?
Why did you tell her?
There's two reasons actually. Probably because of our conversation by Powell when you mentioned Iman coming in, we were gonna take him out at the 4. I realized that the whole idea of us going to 3 was flexible now. Like I really wanted to go with you 3, and I knew I was not gonna be here on Sunday. And if I wasn't gonna be here and the plan went wrong, and it was you and me in the chopping block, I think you would not hesitate to take me out. So that was the reason. I think I made that call right. So it would have gone wrong.
Back to
Dunker.
Elena.
Do you not think she's gonna win?
Oh, I think.
She's gonna
Can I be
win.
honest? This is like my nightmare blunt rotation of the final 3. I think this final 4, in general, for me, does not really exemplify the amount of like hard and intense and great gameplay of this game. I think the second we realized it was an all-done final 4, it just became the most boring, predictable end of the season. So I'm not excited about it. Elena was the one. I'm most likely gonna vote for Elena, but mainly because I think she's just a bit more entertaining and a bit more charismatic. But if I really think, what was an Elena move? One move she made that really put her here, besides honestly riding the coattails of everyone else and just having a personality, you know what I'm saying? Like what's natural to her. Obviously, we all use the stuff that was natural to us and worked with that. That's part of the game. But I can't think. I really was thinking I actually really want to vote her, and I really want to be passionate about that vote. I'm not trying to like hate on her like they all like made it past me, right? But the fact that she like barely found out about my vote 3 hours later, that wasn't even her call, so that wasn't her move. Then what? Afterwards, like, what did
Sorry,
she
can
do
we hear,
after?
like maybe
Yeah.
Vince? Can you speak?
Yeah,
to
no,
Elena?
I think your exact point is my biggest liability with Elena winning, and my vote is completely up in the air. So I want to hear that from her. But I do think results matter, and the fact that you guys got voted out and she's in the final 3 doesn't mean nothing, and it's actually pretty important. And just because she didn't have the traditional like survivor values of making big moves or whatever, she actually made it to the end. And I think that means something.
What's the difference
But
between her and Ryan?
Yeah, that's what I was about to
That's
say.
what I
Because
was
I feel like I'm more like if I'm gonna look at like I'm a social player, I feel like my social game is my strength. And I'm looking at the final 3, and I feel like Ryan has the best social game out of all of them. Dude, I'm sorry, I got along like Ryan was the only one who really tried to do any jury management with me. It's like
True.
I knew I was going home. Ryan was the only one who really like wanted to talk to me. He like invited me on the reward even though I was being a bitch. And like he's just I love Ryan.
He's
I
really
just love
great.
Ryan. Ryan's great. Like, and I'm just like, if I'm choosing based on personality, like, I'm gonna pick Ryan. To be honest, for me.
Go on.
Yeah, for me, it's like, I know I'm not voting for Dunker, but it's like, between Ryan and Elena, it's like, it feels like they both, in their own ways, stumble their way to the end. And I think Jude honestly put Elena in the end.
I did that on purpose. I was talking to her a lot, working with her, really hyping her up. So like that was purposeful. I figured I might need her later, so I was really trying to create that friendship with her.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. If it was a vote, it might have paid off, but maybe she would have gone through the throat. Who knows?
I think ultimately it comes down to like we are not Elena, we're not Ryan, we don't know their games. You know, they could have played like different games than like all of us got. So I think it really comes down to them explaining it.
Yeah. Notice that no one's mentioning Dunker at all though. Like it's just
Ryan,
Ryan.
like,
Pretty privileged.
So, going off of the explaining thing, like, you know, I'm interested to know how much you guys are open to hearing from the final 3 tonight. So, whose vote is still up in the air? Can you raise your hand?
Well,
I
I think it wasn't
I
good.
don't know. Mine's up to chance.
Okay, someone has to get me like.
Fate will decide.
So you guys are
Sorry, can I get him one more
yeah,
time?
right.
It's like
So you're willing to be convinced.
Willing to be convinced.
Just like Dunker.
if I were to vote for Ryan, he needs to come up with a speech so fucking excellent that is so perfectly clear. Because I'm sorry, I'm not voting for someone that voted correctly for the first time at Final 7.
Oh wait, whose vote is up in the air? As in, you would vote for any 3?
Oh.
No.
Well, like, yeah, I guess.
You vote for Dunker?
If he picks
So
the
if
correct
you're-
number, I'll vote for
Don't do
Dunker.
Dunker numbers.
So you guys, so
Dunker.
the most of you, your votes are up in the air between Elena and Ryan,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
Dunker.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was a unanimous vote for Elena.
Dunker is not being considered at all.
No.
I want to hear what Dunker has to say. I want to see. I want
Okay.
to hear I want to hear what how Dunker defends his game. I don't know if that necessarily means I'll vote for him, but I'm still willing to hear him out, and I'm not ruling out me voting for him.
This is the one pro of his game that I will give it to him. He successfully planted 2 fake idols because Ryan found his fake pre-merge idol, and I found, while me and Annika were looking in the fucking pouring ass rain, I found his perfectly wrapped fake merge idol. And that could have been cataclysmic for my game if I wasn't as socially aware as I was, because when I found out at the final 7, when you guys both separately, literally 5 minutes apart on FaceTime, told me about the location of each idol, and I knew I had the original Snake idol, that means that I knew that Elena had the original Dove idol and that my merge idol was fake. So it didn't work out for him because I found it. You know, it didn't work out for me because I found out about it. But think about it, if any one of y'all found a fake merge idol, that could have been pretty big. That could have honestly, A, embarrassed the fuck out of you, and B, that could have really affected the strategy. But I had an inkling though after Ryan's fake idol that mine could have been fake too. So I will give him that. He did plant really successful fake idol.
What it look like?
It was like a little beaded thing that had green and purple, weaving through, and the clue looked legit as fuck. It was wrapped. It was actually like hot iron sealed in a tree next to the Duvalentine statue.
You put some effort into that.
He did put effort. That's what I would give him. That was him.
So most of you said you're willing to be convinced. Can you talk a little bit about how you're approaching the final tribal and what you have prepared and how that will go into your vote?
What do you have prepared? What do you
I feel like with my question, I want to understand their games. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I want them to explain to me moves, because I feel like if you see the game through your perspective, your game, it's kind of like tunnel vision. You're not aware of what other people are doing. So I want to be aware of how they also see the game and how they think their moves made an impact. And I feel like that's really important to see who you're gonna end up choosing as the winner.
Yeah, I think for me, Elena and Ryan need to separate themselves somehow. That is my biggest thing. If one of them can clearly separate themselves in the final tribal council, they will be my vote.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That's kind of where I'm going with my. I also kind of want to make this a little more interesting. As we said, I also kind of agree that this is a slightly boring end to the season. So I want to stir up some drama in the last moment that I can and ask them to kind of turn against each other and say why their other fellow finalists shouldn't win. But another part of that is I want to see some sort of rift between Elena and Ryan, just so they can differentiate each other from each other.
I think I am going to go in only giving Ryan and Elena the opportunity to pick a number, but if Dunker makes a good enough case, then I'll give him the opportunity to pick a number.
Can I ask a question?
Mhm.
Can I ask something after? Hannah, you were closest with, I think out of everybody here, Elena and Ryan. Do you see a difference between their games, and if so, what is
Yeah, I think that Ryan is loyal to a fault, but Elena's willing to flip. I mean, Ryan was left out of quite a few votes, but after I was voted out, I don't think Elena voted wrong a single time. So I think that's just a testament to the fact that she was able to separate herself from Ryan, because she didn't include him in those votes because he voted wrong.
So in your opinion, was she being dragged, or was she hopping aboard a
I
ship
think if
that
anyone
she
was
thought
dragged, she dragged Ryan. I mean, Ryan didn't even go to fire. He was picked by Dunker. So I mean, I would say he's a bit of a goat.
Great take. That's a really good take.
I was wondering, so it seems like everyone is, the anti-Dunker sentiments are kind of tied towards the fact that he seemingly didn't make that many social relationships and talk to that many people. Why do you guys think that you prioritize that so much over things like physical gameplay, the fact that he won the challenge, the fact that he was able to make it this far as a lone wolf?
First of all, physical gameplay was ran by her. So that to me, the sweep that she had and could have potentially had, I'm not as interested. Dunker is just, honestly, his personality is just, we're all humans. It's really hard to separate kind of a personal thing, and he is just very well, he and all the doves really contributed in this behavior, because I'm the one who really experienced a lot of the negative aspects. When a dove is voting you off, they make you feel that you're being voted off. That's the one thing. And I think he is in particular, because he just kind of like is like floating around, like he's kind of like dry, and he literally only spoke to the people that he wanted to speak to at that time. And everyone else is trying to like, you know, at least say hi here and there. Like, half the people saying like, oh, like Dunker and I talked, it was like the worst conversation like of my life. And then like Dunker would press the fuck out of me about my top 3, and then I would ask him who are you voting, and he won't say anything. Like it's just like a very like inconsistent
What's up, Lena?
way of like. Yeah.
I mean, even today, or not today, even at Final Tribal, he was like, Elena's really good at puzzles, so I think she can win this challenge. And he was talking about me, Lena, because he thought Elena was the one who'd won the puzzle challenge, but it was me, Lena, not Elena. So I think that just like shows he's like not involved in this game, he's not invested in this game, and he like doesn't even know the difference between me and Elena. Like that's offensive. We've been on this for 40 days.
His jury management is garbage.
I'm sorry, I
It's
have a question real
garbage.
quick. Do you guys feel bad? Do you have a soul like dragging this man that was very seriously ill?
He wrote my name down like literally like
Was
7
he actually
times.
ill?
Part four.
Yeah.
He wrote part 4? Oh my
That's
god.
what I was shocked. I was like, whose vote is that? That's not mine.
I'll like step in here. Like, I don't know if I'm like one. I like Dunker.
Dunker is cool.
I feel
So-
like
I like all of them.
I have a
personally.
question.
I really do.
Okay. So, do you think anyone was on the wrong starting tribe? Which, as a reminder, the starting tribes were Snake versus Doves. Does anyone here wish that they were, on the other starting tribe?
Let's just go down the line.
No,
Yeah.
let me start from with Hannah.
No, I think I was on the right track.
Do you think anyone was on the wrong tribe?
Jude.
Okay. Kelsey catalyzed me like that. The whole trust thing destroyed me, and I think that set me down my path. Honestly, I was like, you have to earn trust, and like that scared the crap out of me. Realizing how little I knew about the game, I was like, didn't even know about idols at all. And she knew everything. I think that set me on my path. Honestly, my old dark journey.
So, do you think you were on the right tribe?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I think I was on the right tribe, and I think Kelsey and Jude were the 2 people on the wrong tribe.
I think I was on the right side.
I feel like I fit in. I feel like I could have fit in on both, but I like where I was.
I definitely think I was in the right tribe. However, I would have ran the fuck out of the Doves.
That's why y'all wish you were on the other one.
I wish I was in the right tribe. I ran the fuck out of it.
I think that I would have been successful on the Doves. I think I played like actually a pretty loyal game. Mostly maybe that was due to me just not having the ability to even come up with any schemes. I'm just like, I guess, not a schemer. So I feel like I would have been successful. I feel like I would have been successful in the Doves because I feel like I was loyal to the people for the most part who I said I was loyal to.
I feel like I totally should have been on the Dove tribe. Are you kidding me?
That's like
Okay.
really
That's
like the boldest take
I
I've
was
heard in a while.
loyal to you till the freaking end. All right.
Bitch, you were making fake idols. You were fucking
That's
like
not-
running
that's
around,
not
scheming
snaking
on everyone. You
That's
blindsided him. You blindsided
You were
him.
not in the line.
You were about to blindside him, girl.
Yeah.
So, will attractiveness play a role in your vote?
Attraction.
Physical attraction.
Attractiveness,
Physical
yeah.
Most
Oh my
definitely.
god.
Let's just say, like, raise your hands if, like, physical attractiveness is going to play a significant role.
I think we're all trying to counter pretty privilege. So
Yeah,
attractiveness
I'm
is
literally
playing.
gonna drag Dunker for like thinking that pretty privilege. Like I'm really gonna say being pretty a winner does not make.